Look at the light on my face. I'm like glowing. It's glowing. I've been in the US for about 7 weeks now, and since I've been here I've done 3 stage races: Madera County, Tour of Marietta and San Dimas stage race, and I've done 1 single day race, which was the Chuck Pontius Memorial Road Race. So I think it's about time for a France versus USA racing comparison vlog.
I am French. You say you're French?
Oui.
We? No, we are not French. We're American, because you're in America.
In the USA, it is all about speed. Everything is just speed. If you go and read any race flyer, it says fastest corner, fastest crit, fastest lap, high speed, thrilling. In France, it's not the same though. It's more about difficulty or challenge. Every race you do has something difficult, like a difficult point in it. Sometimes that's like super steep climbs on a circuit, or proper like Tour de France mountains. Sometimes it's even just narrow roads and terrible weather and crazy crosswinds. That's often why riders don't finish races in France, because the actual physical route is extremely challenging. This is not to say that racing in the US is any easier than racing in France. It's not. Looking at power data, the two are relatively similar, and the caliber of the rider is the same. And actually, speed is its own form of challenge. High-speed races make it way more difficult to move up, to hold position, to take corners, to accelerate again. It's just a whole different ballgame. Here, races can finish with like a 44 or 45 or even 46 km/h average. One of the other big differences is the way the teams work together. In the US, the teams are really cohesive. They work really well together. Teams are often on the front chasing or setting a tempo or bringing back a couple riders or setting up a bunch sprint, or they are really well drilled. I mean, at the end of those criteriums, you see sometimes 8 riders from one team pulling onto the front for a lead out. I mean, I can't even get to the front of these damn races and they've got like 8 people there. It's amazing. Whereas in France, the teams don't work as well together. They more function on like a we're wearing the same jersey and don't chase your teammates down kind of way. You work together, but it's way more of a every man for himself kind of scenario. I think because of this, the races in France are way more aggressive and way more unpredictable. Whereas here, things are a lot more steady. They're a touch more predictable. Everything's a bit more controlled. I think the higher speed also makes it a lot more difficult to be aggressive. It's a lot more difficult to be in front of a peloton doing 46 or 47 kilometers an hour than it is to attack on a climb or stay out in front of a peloton only doing 38 or 39 kilometers an hour. Being out in front in a US race takes a hell of a lot of power and a hell of a lot of strength. So I think that's why you maybe have a slightly less aggressive and way more controlled racing style. The races in France tend to break up a lot more. You might get a lead group of like 30 or 40 guys coming to the finish together and sprint it out, but in general you don't have massive bunch sprints. It's just not like that. Here you seem to have a lot of bunch sprints, a lot of riders sort of sitting in and really letting their teams do the work before they show up in the finale and do what they do best. So it comes down to this for me. The US is all about speed, but it's also quite controlled. Whereas in France, it's more about difficulty and it is uncontrollable and aggressive.